opinion on it, and I just think it's ridiculous. How are we supposed to live? This lady, you know, it's just amazing how you come to something like this and realise how everyone thinks alike, because she completely hit the nail on the head. Me and my partner were looking at buying a house for the past 2 years, and I was just devastated to hear the fact that that's going to get added on top of that as well, because we are struggling at the moment, and literally struggling. I work overtime, weekends, evenings, and I even changed employment from childcare. I think I'd like to go into banking, just simply because of the funds and the money that I don't have. So I'd just like to know how we're supposed to live, and to be honest with you, I think it would be a barefaced lie for anyone to say that this wouldn't happen, because anything that comes out in Jersey happens in the end, and I really can't see an end to it. So I would like somebody to sort of say, you know, how we can move forward. Two of you mentioned earlier that people don't come out to these things, and it's hard to get the public involved because they just don't believe that anything will happen if they do come.
But then there's a whole band of people like yourself who are flogging your guts out, working really hard to get on in Jersey, and then you're going to have 3% slapped onto everything that you're buying. And when you come to making a major life-changing decision, like actually getting on the property ladder, that's just been pushed even further away from you. Whereas if we had banded income tax, so that the highest earners in the island were paying proportionately more, which is something I would support, Chambers wouldn't.
It's not fair. It's not fairly done.
Yeah.
Definitely, I work more I work, more tax I pay.
Which is why GST is particularly punitive, you know, that's why I think it's going to be at least suspended until a better way is found forward. Thank you very much.
First of all, the question of exemptions. Exemptions on food, exemptions on medicines, exemptions on books, exemptions on house prices. Why not? Come on, that was voted out. What was happening there? That's a nonsense. And compared to other jurisdictions, they have exemptions. The UK has exemptions. Why haven't we? Because, quite frankly, it appears that our current politicians don't care. We talked about banded income tax. Yes, that's the only fair way of taxing people. Progressive taxation, having bands. Those who can afford, most afford, pay most.
Yeah.
Then finally, mortgage cap. I've asked the question only last week. We've got a cap on mortgages at 300,000. Now, that was set 2 years ago. In the meantime, house prices have gone up on an average of something like 50 grand. Is the Treasury Minister prepared to move the cap so that more people can afford? Okay, these are middle earners, these are good earners to be buying at that level. But no, he's not. He's just going to leave it there so that house price inflation goes like that, and the mortgage relatively, oops, can't go any further than that, starts to look very insignificant altogether. That's what happened in the UK. In fact, if anything worse, they started bringing it down fairly rapidly. And yes, the reality is, we're not talking about should it be easy to buy a house, but should it be possible, by working all the hours got sense, to actually dream of buying a house. And that's the situation we're in today. My stepchildren can't possibly return to the island. They've moved away. They both own their own houses up in the north of England. But they've got no chance, even if they sold up, of moving back here to have a reasonable house at all.
I think it's very, very difficult. My eldest daughter bought a flat about 10 years ago when prices were more affordable. If I think now we bought our house 20 odd years ago, how we ever managed to do it, I really don't know, and it's very difficult, and I really can't hold it out too much hope, because in a way, the way that the cost of living is structured here, the largest single item in the retail price index is the cost of housing, which is near enough 40% of the whole of the index, and it's always going to be a very, very difficult position. All I can do is, I'm afraid, I can only offer you sympathy. I can't really see any real solution unless the whole of the way that the government is run and expenditure is controlled changes, and there doesn't appear to be any sign of that.
And I have to make the point, you get why people not come to meetings, why people do not turn out to vote, because there has never been any connection between your individual vote and what politicians do. The only way to achieve that is through political parties